Hey everybody, Tim Norris here, aka GreyElephant.
And Carmen Norris.
And welcome to a quick review by GreyElephant Gaming. Today, what are we talking about?
We are talking about progress, evolution of technology.
Yes, we are, and this was sent to us by Passport Game Studio and NSKN Games. Now, what's the purpose of this video? The purpose is to give our opinion quick and to the point, but if you want to know more about how this game plays, what should they do?
If you want to know more about how this game plays, you should watch the live play, which has the entire game in real time.
Real time! I want that to flash up. Real time!
Yes, and it's linked right up there.
Yes, it is. So, right off the bat, I gotta say, this is a beautiful looking game. I don't want to go all googly-moogly over the components, but the main thing that really caught my eye was the player board.
But they deserve googly eyes.
They do deserve googly eyes, because I think it's really cool that they created a little punch board, how you move up your little skills. You know, instead of your little token, you know, your cubes on there, and they slide all over the place, they lock into place. I really thought that that was a really cool touch. A lot of other publishers could take note from that, because I hate when my I don't like my resources mixing.
No, well, I've seen people actually pimp out their games and provide these punch boards
You're talking about Eclipse.
Plexiglass something to keep their cubes from sliding. Well, this publisher included it out of the box.
Yes. Now, this is the third game that we have reviewed and played by this designer, Andrei Novak. I'm sure I butchered your name. We did Praetor, we did Versailles, and now we have done Progress. Well, where does this one rank? Well, you'll find out in a second.
In Progress, Evolution of Technology, you are moving your society up. You start out with the wheel, pottery, burial. And then you get to more and more advanced technologies such as refrigeration and an automobile. You can do this by building up your tech tree or by using general knowledge. I wonder where that general knowledge came from.
I'm not saying that it was aliens, but it was aliens. Now, I love engine building games, and this one's no different. Games like Splendor, Seven Wonders, Deus, I think they're really cool. But this one most reminds me of a game called Legacy Gears of Time. And the reason is because you've got these cards, and it's all about hand management, all right? Or it's about saying, hey, I've already discovered this, so I get to play this one for free, like Seven Wonders. But at the beginning, especially, you've got general knowledge on each one of these cards, and as you discard them, you know, you're going to be able to play and discover these new ones. And that is exactly the main mechanic in Legacy. You don't want to try to, get rid of cards that's going to benefit your opponent, but at the same time, you got to discover these technologies.
Yeah, so you have a decision to make. Which technology are you going to discover, and which one are you going to discard? Now, as you make this decision, you've got to look at what this new technology is going to provide you with. It might not actually benefit you that much, or maybe it will. You can get skills, such as holding more cards in your hand, or getting more actions. And then you can also get knowledge tokens, which are going to help you discover more technologies, in addition to paying attention to where it's going to fall in the tech tree. And
most importantly, you're going to be getting victory points, because the main scoreboard will have either the crown, the castle, or the Roman, or the helmet. The helmet, right. We'll say soldiers, that you're going to be moving up on. So 3 different levels. And each one of these cards will maybe let you move up, possibly, not always, on one of those columns. So, yeah, I mean, early on you could try to focus on just trying to move up on next. I mean, they are big points at the end of the game if you are the leader on those columns. But at the same time, are you foregoing moving up your skills? And is that going to affect you later in the game when your opponent's taking, say, 5 actions and you're still at 2 or 3? It's a big deal.
Right. Well, whenever you reach age 4, the game is going to end, and you're going to count up your in-game scoring points. Now, I've got to say, that board that he was just talking about seems to be the most important one, because I've tried focusing on different ways of getting points. You also get points on your actual cards that are in your tableau, and also on your player board, depending on the skills that you've moved up. But you tend to get the most out of that shared board that we
Oh, yeah, you really do. So, at the beginning, I said this is the 3rd game we have reviewed and played by this designer. And I gotta say, this one is my favorite out of all 3. In the other 2, we found little things that were wrong, or just didn't work well, with especially 2 players. And we had to kind of house rule them to make them fit. This one, I'm not seeing that issue. This one, it seems like right out of the box, I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's the engine building. I absolutely love that. I really do. And it's the fact that, this one really makes you struggle, especially late game, making them difficult decisions because, once you get to about age 3, especially age 3, you've got one other age that's still out there with age 2. And, to be able to possibly build some of these cards for free, you may need cards from the second age. So do you go back in age to try to get these cards into your hand, or do you just keep, trying to struggle ahead and slog through age 3 until you get enough cards and try to discard the general knowledge? It's a very difficult decision, and I say that, kind of, I don't know, comically, because, you wouldn't think that it's that tough. It's like, hey, just build them in the right order. Well, it's not that simple, because you got to get these right cards, and in like mathematics, in a 2-player game, there's only one card for mathematics.
Yeah, it's not always possible.
Yeah, and it's not always possible, so you are going to have to make these sacrifices, and I think that's what's really fun about the game. I love leveling up my skills, with the hand size, or be able to draw more cards or get more actions, which get more actions is by far the most powerful. You've got to get those, let's face it. But overall, I just found that, once you start advancing from one age to the next and you start making these heavy decisions, that this is a very enjoyable game with some really cool heavy decisions.
I would have to agree. I would have to say I really enjoy the game. I like the fact that you really need to pay attention to the tech tree. You have decisions to make. You don't want to discard cards that your opponent needs, and that's really big. Sometimes it can be frustrating if you can't get the card you need throughout, a lot of the game. Like, I think in our live play it was that way.
You got to just muscle through it.
That. But we've had a lot of games where the in-game scoring is very close. Even in games where I've been frustrated half the time because I couldn't get a card I needed.
Yeah.
So I would say that the game is very well designed in that aspect, and I enjoy playing it.
Yeah. But what should they do?
They should not take our word for it, but watch the live play to make your own decision about the game.
That's right. It's right there for a reason, guys. And you can see the game played out entirely from the start to the end. And most importantly, you get to see which one of us came out on top. And as usual, we appreciate you watching.
Bye-bye.